Hey everyone, today I'll be talking about palpation of the axillary lymph nodes. Before proceeding, to know more about the anatomy of axillary lymph nodes, you can check out my YouTube video on the same, the link for which has been mentioned in the description below. For palpation of the anterior or say the pectoral group of axillary lymph nodes, the clinician should use their opposite hand to the side being examined. For example, to palpate the right side of the patient, the clinician should use his or her left hand. The patient's arms are elevated and the clinician's fingers are insinuated behind the pectoralis major muscle and patient's arm is lowered and made to rest on clinician's forearm. After this, the clinician should try to palpate the lymph nodes with the pulp of the fingers, as you can see in this corresponding diagram. To palpate the lateral group of axillary lymph nodes, the clinician should use their same hand to the side being examined. For example, to examine the right side of the patient, the clinician should use his or her right hand. The palm of the clinician is directed laterally against the upper end of the humerus. As you can see in the corresponding diagram. And then the clinician should try to palpate the lymph nodes. To palpate the posterior group of axillary lymph nodes, the clinician should stand behind the patient. Patient's arms are semi-lifted by clinician's one hand, and then the clinician should palpate the antero-internal surface of the posterior fold of the axilla with palm of the other hand, as you can see in the diagram below. To palpate the central group of axillary lymph nodes, the clinician should use their opposite hand to the side being examined. For example, to palpate the right side of the patient, the clinician should use his or her left hand. Patient's arm is slightly abducted. Then, clinician's extended fingers are passed up to the apex of the axilla with the palm directed towards the lateral thoracic wall. And then the patient's forearm is rested on the clinician's forearm of the examining hand. and the other hand is brought to the patient's shoulder, and palpation should be done with the examining hand, as you can see in the diagram below. To palpate the apical group of lymph nodes, same steps as the central group of axillary lymph nodes are carried out, just the fingers are pushed further up. So this was all about palpation of axillary lymph nodes in brief. Here is the overview of what I have discussed. If you think this video was helpful, do like this video, share this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.